Rabotai, it's good to be back. Just to continue a little bit about the halachot of a compensatory prayer, Tfilat Tashlumim. The halacha is, it's especially relevant in the winter. If a person's praying Tfilat Mincha, a person has to pray Tfilat Mincha, and now it's getting later in the afternoon, it's almost dark, and he's in the middle of a business deal or whatever it is. The halacha is that you're not allowed to miss a tefillah just because of parnasah. Even if you're going to lose business, even if you're going to lose the deal, the halacha is that you have to stop cold turkey and go pray. Now what happens if, let's say, a person did not pass that test? A person was in the middle of a deal, he was in the middle of conducting business, and he knew he had to pray, but he didn't stop. He didn't want to stop the deal, and as a result, the time for mincha passed, the time for whatever tefillah passed. Is he eligible for tfilat tashlumin? There's a machloket poskim. L'da'at Maran Shulchan Aruch. A person is still able to make tfilat tashlumin, to make it up in the next prayer, even though he knew that he had to pray and he didn't stop. However, Maran Zechrono Livracha writes that it's better to make a t'nai nedava, to make a stipulation, a voluntary prayer. If I'm chayav to pray, this is an obligatory prayer. And if I'm not chayav to pray, it's a voluntary prayer. The question becomes, what to do on Shabbat? The halacha on Shabbat is that there's no tfilat nedava. You can't volunteer prayers on Shabbat because there were no voluntary korbanot on Shabbat either. You only brought the obligatory korbanot. So therefore, what do you do in these situations? The halacha is, let's say this happened on mincha of Erev Shabbat. A person was running late, he was conducting business, he knew that he had to get home and pray, but he was late, and because he was doing business, he missed mincha on Erev Shabbat. So now, on Leil Shabbat, if he wants to pray a second time, he cannot make a t'nai nedava. You can't make a t'nai for a voluntary prayer because you can't do that on Shabbat. Rather, you have to rely on Rov HaPoskim that say that you're still eligible for Tfilat Tashlumin. Just do the Tashlumin without the t'nai nedava. It's not a big deal because of there it was just a good idea anyway. The same thing, Rabotai, would happen. There's a machloket poskim. Let's say a person really couldn't pray because of a situation out of his control. Let's say a person was really sick. He couldn't pray. Now, is he eligible for tfilat tashlumin? Some poskim say, since you were sick, that means Hashem doesn't want you to pray. That means Hashem doesn't want your prayer. Therefore, when you feel better, you can't do tashlumin. It's not like forgetting. It's not like being engrossed or busy or whatever it is. It's that you couldn't. La halacha Maran rules in Siman Kufchet, the halacha is that if you were sick, and even if you had a situation that was beyond your control, you're still eligible for tfilat tashlumin. What happens on Shabbat? Now, over here in general, we would try to make a t'nai nedava because of the machloket. But on Shabbat, you cannot make a t'nai nedava. Person missed the tefillah on Shabbat because he wasn't feeling well. La halacha, the next tefillah, you should make tfilat tashlumin without making the t'nai nedava, because just to rely on the Shulchan Aruch and the Rov HaPoskim that say that you're eligible for the compensatory prayer, just don't make the t'nai nedava because you cannot make nedavot or t'naim for nedavot on Shabbat. Have a wonderful day.